With his father missing and the symbiotes being hunted, Dylan Brock and his allies will need to hit the road. How will they survive? Well, let's hop into the pages of Venom issue number 2 and find out together, shall we? So then, picking up from where the last issue left off, Eddie Brock was seemingly killed by some sort of strange military force that is hunting him and his son. In order to escape, Dylan Brock was forced to join with the symbiote, effectively making him the newest incarnation of Venom. Of course, all this newfound power doesn't do much to help you when you're still being hunted. Before he left, though, Eddie Brock left a voicemail on his son's phone saying that if anything gets really bad, he's to go to a strange, dingy diner in hopes of finding a woman by the name of Archer Lyle. Eddie says that he and Lyle go way back and were buddies together back during his investigative journalism days. It's here too, Dylan has to have a conversation with his father's old symbiote saying why, when given the choice, did he choose to save him and not Eddie. The symbiote only says that he did what he thought Eddie himself would do in that situation. Also, can I just say there's something wonderfully striking about Dylan Brock making his way through the train cars, flanked on both sides by the Venom and Sleeper symbiotes that are taking the form of a cat and dog respectively. I never thought Venom would be a boy in his Pets book, but here it is. The diner ends up being a big old dead end. No one knows who this Archer Lyle woman is, and unfortunately Dylan is going to have to run again very soon, as the longer he stays in one place, the more likely the goon squad is to find him. Sleeper recommends that Dylan ditch his phone. After all, it's what his father would do, but Dylan doesn't want to do it, probably because getting rid of his phone means losing those voice messages from his father and his last connection to Eddie. We as the reader learn something interesting in the diner, though. On the news we hear about Senator Crane. You'll remember back in that Carnage Agent Venom spin-off series, Crane was running on an anti-symbiote, anti-alien bill. Crane the Sr. had been killed, but his son Crane the Jr. is continuing to gobble up political power thanks in no small part to the ringing endorsement of such political luminaries as Mayor Wilson Fisk of New York. Crane Jr. is still playing on the average person's fear of symbiotes, but oh, it gets so much deeper and darker than that. You see, who's putting up the money for the new Crane senatorial bid? Well, a guy by the name of Carlton Drake. Drake, you may or may not remember, is the founder of the Life Foundation and one of Venom's oldest foes in his solo series. He was also in that crappy movie, but I digress. It would seem that the Life Foundation has been enjoying quite the rebirth recently after Roxxon lost its president and Alchemax also fell on a hard times. If you have dirty corporate money you need to move, these are your guys. And with a renewed vigor comes Carlton's own renewed vendetta against Venom and the symbiotes. In fact, as we discover, those militia guys who have been hunting after Eddie and Dylan, they were outfitted with anti-symbiote tech by the Life Foundation. Now, Sleeper's warning from before ends up coming to pass. The goon squad is able to track Dylan down by using his phone. The new Venom fights valiantly, but it's clear he's still just beginning his superhero career, and as such, these guys actually prove to be quite a problem. In fact, the only thing Dylan and his allies actually have going for him is that these guys hunting after him only think they're after one human and one symbiote. They have no idea Sleeper is there. Which in truth probably makes them like most comic readers. Lord knows I forgot Sleeper existed for years. Poor Dylan ends up getting hit with a sonic grenade, and it looks like it might be curtains on him, the shortest Venom tenure in a very long time. Luckily, it's at that moment Archer Lyle shows up to make the save. Apparently, she hadn't talked to Eddie before his disappearance and only figured something was up once his name started getting splattered all over the news. It's because of that she decided to check out the diner, aka their old dead drop site. And as the comic comes to an end, Archer Lyle shows what a big fan she is of Terminator by telling Dylan that he should come with her if he wants to live. And so that was Venom issue number 2, everybody, as well as the first full story in this new Venom series by Ram V, who will be, of course, taking turns with Al Ewing giving us this new era of the Deadly Protector. I like it. Honestly, it reminds me more of classic Hulk than anything, a young person forced to ride the rails and outrun all the people who want to kill him because of how different he is. Bringing back the Life Foundation also makes a lot of sense too, not just because of the movie and multimedia connection, but also because that's a pretty big something that Cates didn't quite touch on in his run. I also appreciate the dank, dour tone that they're going for in this series. Marvel has so many happy, upbeat stories of young people going on on right now. I like the juxtaposition here. It's basically hell being Dylan Brock because it was always hell being Eddie Brock. Also, I've always been a sucker for that old writing trope of sins of the father falling on the son, and that's definitely what this series seems to be about. Overall, I'd give this one a positive 8 out of 10.
Hey there everyone, Cape Joel again, and I want to thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. As always, if you liked what you see, be sure to like, subscribe, comment. It really helps drive engagement and helps me out too. Also, if you are a patron, which you can become for as little as $1 a month, you will get exclusive content that no one else can ever see, and you'll get to see the Comic Multiverse podcast before anyone else too. You can check out all this and more down in the description. And until next time everyone, this has been Cape Joel, and I'll see you all next time. Cheers.